TED Talks by Ted Schwerzler is brought to you by Bunyan Communications, providing fiber optic fast internet up to 10 gigabytes, TV, voice, IT, and their certified Apple Service Center. They're serving the Bemidji and Grand Rapids area since 1952.
Ted Schwerzler at TL Schwerz on Twitter, Twins Daily, OffTheBaggy, back for another TED Talks Twins. It's been a little bit of a lull in the update land with the Twins having the All-Star break last week, but there has been a ton of news. Prior to the All-Star break, the Twins put both Jose Miranda and Carlos Correa on the IL. I believe that's around the same time that Kyle Farmer went on the IL as well. Just really shuffling guys around. Then after the All-Star break, was revealed that Chris Paddock was warming up or throwing a bullpen, I believe, has a forearm strain. So cause for concern with his innings load already. Only gets worse as he hits the IL. Cody Funderburk then warming up on Saturday against the Brewers, strained an oblique and is on the IL as well. So with Caleb Thielbar pitching pretty poorly this year, the Twins' only left-hander right now is Steven Okert, and he's been victimized quite a bit by right-handed batters. Fared well against lefties, but if there's a spot for them to address things in the bullpen before the trade deadline, which is Tuesday, July 30th, as opposed to Wednesday, the 31st, the left-handed relief help would be a market they should look at. On Friday, coming back after missing the Brewers and Phillies series being out since July 2nd, Royce Lewis returns. He ended up missing 24 games. He got hurt on July 2nd against the Tigers and will return against the Tigers, this time in Detroit. Lewis has been easily one of the Twins' best per-game players this year. He's only played 24 games, but the hope would be that he can get up to around 70 by the end of the season and stay healthy the rest of the way. He's been truly incredible, especially with Carlos Correa missing some time and other guys filling in. Jose Miranda should return to the Twins over the weekend. He did play on Thursday night in a rehab game for the Saints. That probably means Edward Julian goes back to AAA. He had been trending up for the Saints in recent weeks, but has looked relatively lost for Minnesota in the brief stint he's been back. Unfortunately, just a tough sophomore year for him. Long-term prognosis is still good. I do think that there's a chance the Twins would listen on a guy like that at the deadline, but I don't think that there's anyone that they're going to acquire that they would need to throw in that sort of a piece. Brooks Lee got off to a great start for the Twins and has hit the skids last handful of games. Obviously, hitting in the majors is hard, and he's going through that adjustment period. But Friday night's lineup against Detroit features Lewis and Lee in the same infield. Willie Castro will play shortstop until Carlos Correa returns. I'm told his plantar fasciitis in his, I believe it's his right foot, with last year being the left. I might be confusing that, but is not nearly as significant. The hope is that he should not miss as much time and also rebound pretty straightforward. He's been one of the Twins' best players, definitely their best hitter this year, so getting him back for the stretch run, and not just getting him back, but having him look like he has all season would be great to see. On the pitching front, the Twins have reinserted David Festa into the starting rotation. He worked as a bulk guy behind Okert on Wednesday against the Phillies and was great. That was promising after two relatively ugly starts. He turned in an awesome outing against the best team in baseball right now. That's not great news for Randy Dobnak, who has been unbelievable at AAA for probably the last two and a half months at this point. He's deserving of a call-up. There's not really room in the rotation at this point. I don't think that the Twins are looking at putting him into the rotation, the bullpen, but he is absolutely in consideration for next man up sort of thing. He would need a 40-man spot, but the Twins can handle some of that through the trade deadline, moving a guy like, Matt Wallner or a Josh Winder or someone Wallner would have to be a bigger piece, but moving someone like Winder or maybe Ronnie Henriquez rather than DFAing them or sending them out for nothing. So it's an interesting next handful of days for the Twins. This weekend series with Detroit is the last 3 games that they will face the Tigers this year, with the schedule changes making it so you face division opponents just 13 times. Minnesota is split 5 games each with Detroit, so hopefully sweep can take them into New York and set them up well for the Mets series. We will check back in next week.